Today we delve into 3 true stories, each inextricably linked to a single, disturbing and iconic photograph. These images are not just documentation, they are horrifying artifacts that freeze the moment just before, during, or immediately after a terrifying event. Prepare yourself as we reveal each unsettling photograph at the climax of its story. Part 1: The Girl in Red, Lee Honsho's Vanishing. On the morning of October 21st, 1990, 30-year-old bank manager Lee Honsho and 3 friends began their ascent of Beu Mountain in northern Taiwan. It was a rugged, 8-hour climb, a celebrated rite of passage for Taiwanese hikers. After hours of difficult climbing, the group paused on a rocky ridge. They noticed a profound anomaly. The mountain, typically a bustling tourist spot, was completely empty. No one was coming up, and no one was coming down. The weather was good, the day was right, but they had the entire mountain to themselves. The excited friends pressed onto the mountain's most famous section, a near vertical climb requiring them to pull themselves up using an anchored rope. This section was a highlight, a moment that demanded documentation. One by one, the men climbed the rope. Each paused, turned, and made sure to get a rugged, cool picture of themselves navigating the challenging terrain. Lee, too, took his turn posing for the camera. After a brief stop at the surreal, empty summit, the friends began their long descent. Fighting the coming darkness, Lee, deeply fatigued from the ascent, encouraged his friends to go ahead and promised to meet them at the car. After hiking quickly for an hour, the friends ahead stopped, realizing they had left a very tired Lee far behind. One friend decided to hike back up, expecting to find Lee just moments away, needing help. The rescue friend hiked back up for a full hour, checking side trails and calling out. He was baffled. Lee was nowhere to be seen. Assuming Lee must have taken a wrong path and passed them to the car, the friend returned to the others. The group hiked down together, but when they reached the parking lot, the car was empty. The sun had set. They were forced to conclude that Lee was lost, possibly injured, somewhere on the mountain. They immediately drove to the police station. A massive search was launched, but after a week, the efforts were called off. Lee's family and friends were left in agonizing uncertainty. Suspended between grief and desperate hope, 4 long months passed. Finally, hikers who had intentionally ventured off the marked trail came across the grim discovery: Lee Honsho's body. The family received closure, but the police investigation revealed an unsettling new mystery. The autopsy determined no clear cause of death. Lee showed no signs of trauma, falls, or obvious injury. He was found sitting peacefully, his back against the mountain, his supplies intact. A skilled climber. Why did he simply stop and die without using his resources? Chapter 12. The iconic photograph revealed. The friend who owned the camera developed the photos. He examined the picture of Lee posing on the rope section and saw something they had missed. Image reveal. Positioned above Lee, looking directly down, was a faint but distinct figure, a young girl in a red jacket. They had not seen a single person that day, yet she was there, captured only in Lee's photograph. Chapter 13. The Mountain Spirits. The photo gave chilling credence to the local myth. The mountain was said to be inhabited by spirits that targeted hikers, leading them astray off the trail to their deaths. It seemed this girl in red had been watching Lee from above. Part 2: The Bad Trip, Ludmila and Ivan. On August 8, 2024, Russian woman Ludmila Lazarenko, 48, and her friend Ivan Kuzmin, 38, were in a bungalow at a spiritual retreat, deep in the Peruvian Amazon. They were there for the transformative yet powerful experience of ayahuasca. The director's rule was explicit: never consume the hallucinogenic tea without a shaman present to guide the journey and ensure safety. However, Ludmila and Ivan, confident in their experience, decided to break the rule, brewing their own tea in the communal kitchen. Ivan brought 2 mugs of the powerful tea back to the bungalow. They drank the ayahuasca, laid down on the floor, closed their eyes, and began their private, meditative, and now dangerous journey. A couple of hours into their trip, the retreat director leading a nearby group meditation, heard a single piercing, loud scream coming from the bungalows. He immediately ran toward the sound. The director found a staff member frozen in horror, staring into Ludmila and Ivan's bungalow. The director looked inside and instantly understood the horrible consequences of the broken rule. Ivan had had a catastrophic bad trip. The hallucinogen had shattered Ivan's grasp on reality. In his nightmarish state, he was gripped by the delusion that Ludmila had been possessed by evil spirits, and he was the only one who could save her soul. To carry out his twisted salvation, Ivan first attacked Ludmila with a metal water bottle, savagely beating her. He then retrieved a knife from the kitchen. The scene the staff member discovered was horrific. Ivan, still completely high on ayahuasca, stood over Ludmila, smiling blankly. He had proceeded to dismember her. The staff called for help. Image reveal. This is the photograph taken of Ivan Kuzmin shortly after the bloodbath. He is sitting on the floor, legs crossed, eyes wide and manic, still fully in the grips of the powerful hallucinogen, only feet away from the pieces of his victim. He is the portrait of absolute madness. Ivan eventually came down from his devastating trip. He immediately confessed to the savage murder and was arrested. He is currently serving his sentence in a Peruvian prison. Part 3. The Electrified Hair, the McQuilin Brothers. Around 4:00 p.m. on August 20th, 1975, 18-year-old Michael McQuilin and his siblings, Sean, 12, and Mary, 15, hiked the steep path up Moro Rock in Sequoia National Park, California. Though the hike was short, the sky was growing increasingly dark and windy, a clear sign that a major weather system was approaching. They reached the spectacular summit. Before starting their descent, they wanted one quick photo. Since they had no tripod, Mary aimed the camera at her two brothers, Michael and Sean. She snapped the picture and put the camera away. As Mary was about to lead the descent, they all suddenly noticed a bizarre, almost comical phenomenon. Their hair was standing straight up in all directions. They laughed, assuming it was the wind. They did not understand the dire warning this sign represented. In the next second, the air around them exploded into a brilliant, blinding white flash accompanied by a deafening crack. All three were thrown violently to the ground. They had been struck by lightning. Michael quickly got to his feet, disoriented but functional. Mary, his sister, also managed to stand, but his younger brother Sean was in a heap, and Michael saw smoke rising from his back. Sean had taken the brunt of the electrical impact. Michael and Mary rushed the badly burned Sean down the mountain into the hospital. All three miraculously survived the direct strike, but the reason their story endured was not just their survival. The enduring legacy lies in the photograph Mary took moments before the strike. Image reveal. The picture shows Michael and Sean smiling, but their hair is standing completely on end. This image captures the terrifying fraction of a second when the atmosphere around them became electrically charged, right before the lightning bolt hit. The National Park Service now uses this photograph as a critical warning. If your hair stands up, you are about to be struck.